Not a bad weekend to be a Kansas sports fan. Football, soccer, and volleyball, all with victories. Also, both Kansas City teams won Sunday. A full breakdown of the Royals' final week. And we'll have our Chiefs insider Griffin Hughes on to tell us what went well for KC against Miami. Another live edition of Good Morning KU is up next. Welcome into Good Morning KU. I'm Jackson Long. Thanks for joining us. KU football in action. Charlie Weiss looking to get to 2-1. He would do so. Tony Pearson went for 74 yards on the first play of the game. Cozart to Justin McKay, 60 yards on that on another TD reception. Cozart threw for 226 and 2 touchdowns on the day. Corey Avery also caught a 30-yard touchdown. Big plays were the story of the day for the KU offense, and they got them when they needed them most. 14 points in the fourth quarter to win 24-10. Final for the Jayhawks, their second win of the year. Kansas has Texas on Saturday at 3 p.m. for its annual homecoming matchup. The Kansas City Royals won 5-2 on Sunday to avoid being swept by the Tigers. Today marks the beginning of the last week of the regular season with the series finales against Cleveland and then Chicago still on the schedule. Royals will finish a game with Cleveland tonight at 5, with it standing at 4-2 in the bottom of the 10th. Currently, the Boys and Blues today game and a half back from Detroit in the Central and lead by the same margin over Seattle for the second wildcard spot. The top wildcard spot held by Oakland, just a half game ahead of the Royals. Danny Duffy will start the full game tonight with a 7-10 first pitch. The women's soccer team rebounded after its first loss to defeat St. Mary's 4-0 on Sunday. 4 different players scored for the Jayhawks, who have bumped their record to 9-1 for the season. Goalkeeper Caitlin Stroud posted a season-high 8 saves in the shutout victory. Big 12 play starts Friday when the team travels to Waco to take on Baylor. Now jump over to volleyball. 24th-ranked volleyball team took home the trophy in its own tournament this weekend, the Jayhawk Classic. The Jayhawks beat Arkansas in 4 sets to earn their 12th victory of the season. Sophomore libero Cassie Waite received tournament MVP honors, and freshman setter Anise Vihali also joined her on the all-tournament team. Coach Ray Bouchard tallied win number 1,000 over the weekend as well. Volleyball also starts Big 12 play this weekend with a matchup Saturday against Oklahoma. The Kansas City Chiefs with a 34-15 win over Miami Sunday, the first win of its young season. Now we're joined by our Chiefs insider Griffin Hughes. A strong showing for the Chiefs in the last 2 weeks. Played well against Denver and then again against Miami. What's the difference between the last 2 weeks and or the Titans, and which one's kind of the truer team?
I think the truer team has got to be the one we've seen the last 2 weeks, which is encouraging for Chiefs fans. And the reason I say that is mostly because of the defense. And you see what they did last year to really make them a dominant team was the pass rush. And they're now 3rd in the NFL in sacks. Justin Houston has 3 of them of the Chiefs' 9 total, which they've had. And a lot of those have come in the last 2 weeks. I think what we saw against the Titans was more of a fluke. It was more of, hey, we're panicking because Jamal Charles isn't here. We're not sure what to do. The play calling was questionable. But the defense, as they've done in the past, have really stepped up, and that's taken pressure off the offense and Niall Davis.
Well, Niall Davis, you mentioned, filling in for Jamal Charles. Charles injured with a high ankle sprain. How big has he been in helping this offense kind of continue going without having their best player in the lineup?
Well, you got to love what Niall Davis did, and 214 yards. He's averaging almost 4 yards a carry, 3 touchdowns. He has only 12 fewer yards in the entire Broncos offense, and he didn't even start week 1. So you got to love his performance and the way he's come in and stepped up for the huge void that Jamal Charles left. And it's got to take so much pressure off of Alex Smith and thinking, hey, now I actually have a run game. I can actually pass the ball, which is a huge thing because the offensive line's still a question. 3
touchdown passes for Alex Smith on Sunday, 2 to Joe McKnight and 1 to Travis Kelce. Talk about those 2 players and their impact and really kind of covering up some holes maybe in the offensive line.
Well, Travis Kelce goes along with the tight end, and that's becoming it's becoming a thing in the NFL again, having a great tight end. And, we're looking back at the days when Kellen Winslow Sr. And guys like that were around, and the tight end was a big thing. We're kind of returning to that point. So having Travis Kelce is a big thing. But Joe McKnight, This is a guy that came out of USC with high expectations, never really fulfilled what he was supposed to be doing. But he's kind of found a new home with the Chiefs and a play calling system that benefits him in terms of what he can do. He's a great pass catcher. He always struggled with finding the holes in the run game, but always finding the seam that he can go through as a receiver and also coming out of the backfield. He's really found a system that allows him to do that with all these check down routes that Alex Smith is so good at doing.
Andy Reid's offense certainly great for running backs and tight ends. Now, next up for the Chiefs will be not this Monday, but the next Monday, Monday Night Football, hosting the New England Patriots. They haven't looked great. They barely beat Oakland last week. Yeah. So how does KC fare in that matchup, you think?
I like where KC is at, and I like it because the Patriots are 22nd in rush yards per game, 26th in pass yards per game in the NFL. And who do the Chiefs match up well against? It's the team that is already struggling in the pass game, and then you bring on Justin Houston, Tamba Hali, guys like that who are great pass rushers, guys you always have to be concerned with, and you bring them on against a team that's already struggling in the pass game. I love how the Chiefs match up. The one thing I will say about the Patriots, they're first in opposing pass yards per game, so this is going to be a Chiefs team that's going to have to rely on the run pretty much for the first time. But I think Niall Davis is able to handle it. He's filled in beautifully for Jamal Charles, and I assume Charles isn't going to play next week. So it's going to be Davis again, but he's filled in so well. This is going to be where we see, can Niall Davis be the guy? As Charles he's advancing in age. He's had more and more injury concerns. That ankle's a real problem. So can Niall Davis be the #1 guy? This is where we'll find out. I like the Chiefs in this one.
Chiefs, Monday Night Football next week against the Patriots. Word is they're going to try to break the sound record again for the stadium.
Oh, that's going to be fun.
So it should be fun to watch that game next Monday night. We'll take a break now, and when we come back, we'll take an inside look at what it's like for a freshman riding for the UDK. Stay with us.
Hi, I'm Griffin Hughes. I'm here with Alicia Garza. She's a freshman from the University of Daly, Kansas. And how fitting that you're here during the KSPA Fall Conference. We love having you. So let's start off with the first question. What have you been working on for the UDK?
Well, I've been working on a few things. Just this weekend, I did a story about the care bags that they were putting together for sexual assault victims that were distributed to the health centers around town. And we just got done pitching yesterday, which is where we submit story ideas that will get assigned to different reporters on the Kansan.
And you're in the news section, correct?
News section, yes.
But I think you've done a feature arts and entertainment piece. You did a recipe, I think.
Yes, I did do a pumpkin cheesecake recipe for the arts and features section.
Multi-talented. So what has the UDK been doing in the past month? What have they been focusing on?
We are really focusing on sexual assault and the sexual assault cases that have been going on in the KU, and we've been really trying to bring that to attention, get some action working, maybe make the campus do something about it.
All right, well then let's go to you because that's why you're here. I could talk to anybody, but as a freshman, why did you choose to work for the University of Daly, Kansas?
Well, when I came to KU, I already knew that I wanted to do journalism. Writing is a very great thing for me, and I thought when I was touring the school, I got to tour the newsroom, and when I was touring the newsroom, I was just standing there, and I thought, wow, I would love to do this. Just writing in a newspaper is one of the most amazing things that you can do as a college student.
What makes the UDK different from any other newspaper, any other media organization that you looked at while you were trying to select colleges?
Well, the UDK is different because, first of all, there is a journalism school here, there is a newspaper here, which is interesting, but there's a kind of put-togetherness and everybody works together and bounces off each other. It's not just one person doing something and another person editing. We all communicate, and multimedia editors and newspaper reporters will go out and work a story together, and then the editors will contact you and make sure your changes look okay, and it's just a really good place to be.
So what makes the KU J School, you mentioned it before, what makes that different from any other J School that you looked at?
I would definitely say the professors. They are very involved in their students, and they teach the classes, but outside of the classes, they'll email you with events and with like internship opportunities. They're just really involved with all their students. That makes it a special school.
So when you were selecting a school of journalism to go to, what was the #1 quality that it needed to have for you to be interested?
Well, it was definitely the involvedness, but also it was kind of the building, because they have so many, like, it's a lab, it's a place where you can meet people, not just do your work, and it's a good place.
So in 4 years, at the J School they always stress about, where you're going to be in the future and less where you are now. In 4 years, where do you see yourself?
In 4 years, I'm hoping to see myself in Seattle or London or maybe New York, working on a big name newspaper. I'm not sure which one yet. I'm not really partial at this point, but I just think that working on a big newspaper is my dream.
So that's your dream job in the end. You're just going to work on big newspaper, have fun. It seems like you're really passionate about this. This is really what you love to do?
Yeah, it is. It's my favorite thing to do, hands down, at the university.
Okay, good to hear. Now that we're here with all the KSPA Fall Conference, I want to hear what kind of advice you have for all the high school seniors in the room who are hopefully looking at University of Kansas as your #1 option in terms of where you're going to come for journalism.
Well, I would definitely say that coming here as a freshman would be to get involved in something. And I know that something like KUJH or the radio station or the UDK can definitely seem overwhelming as a freshman. And maybe it will be when you start, but as you get into the rhythm, it's something really fun. It's a good way to meet people and a good way to really know if this is what you want to do with your life.
Mm-hmm. I'm actually going to weigh in here a little bit because I'm also a freshman at KU. I didn't go to high school in Kansas, so I wasn't exactly where you are right now. But I was trying to make this decision, and hopefully some of you will be in this exact spot in about a year's time. The advice I would give is just to have fun with it and follow what you really love. Don't let anybody tell you that you can't do anything because of this barrier or you're not good enough. It's all about being passionate and doing what you really love to do, right?
It is. That's exactly what it's about.
And that's all it is. Alicia, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate having you. Good luck in everything that you do for the UDK. Hopefully we can get you back sometime and we can check in with you again. I'm going to toss it over to some news.
Hello, I'm Bimbai Mudari.
And I'm Gabby Naylor. This is your Monday Good Morning KU News Update. NASA's latest satellite slammed on the brakes after successfully arriving in orbit above Mars. After 10 months of speeding through space, MAVEN will study the planet's high atmosphere, allowing scientists to better understand climate conditions on Mars. MAVEN's arrival will be followed by India's first satellite to Mars.
A pilot safely completed an emergency landing on Highway 69 near Liberty, Missouri, early Sunday morning. The single-engine plane was low on fuel, no injuries were reported, and according to the Liberty Police dispatcher, the pilot did not receive any citations.
Police set up a perimeter around a University of Alabama dorm, advising residents to stay inside following anonymous threats of gun violence directed towards Greek life. The threat references minorities on campus and that retribution is necessary. No violence has been reported, and police are currently investigating the anonymous threat made under the fictional name Arthur Pendergrass.
Parents of 4-year-old Zaishia Harris are being questioned after accidentally leaving their child unsupervised at Wyandotte County Lake. Following a heated argument, the parents left in separate vehicles after the disagreement, each thinking that the other took their daughter. Zaishia remains in a foster family while her family members are further questioned.
University volunteers put together 100 sexual assault care packages in the Kansas Union Friday morning. Bags, which are available at 3 locations including Watkins Health Center, contain toiletries, clothing, and packets with information about sexual assaults and phone numbers that victims can call for help. The packages are available for victims after they receive a proper examination by a nurse.
Democratic candidate for Kansas Secretary of State, Jean Shodoff, spoke at the University of Kansas Young Democrats meeting to discuss the importance of student voting last Thursday. Shodoff lectures at Kansas universities as part of a lifelong voting tour to promote higher voter turnout for 18 to 24-year-olds. Shodoff says that student votes will affect decisions on significant topics such as higher education learning.
And that'll wrap it up for today's news update. After the break, Jackson will be back with a guest from Kansas Scholastic Press Association.
Welcome back into Good Morning KU. My name's Jackson Long. I'm here with Emily Wollard, a junior from Shawnee Mission South, who is here with the Kansas Scholastic Press Association, correct? Yeah. So tell us about this experience so far today and what you're looking forward to do.
So far, we've heard from the head of the Kansas Scholastic Press Association. He talked to us about like journalistic rights as well as like student journalism, how we can be safe, how the administration can't take away our journalistic rights due to law by state of Kansas, which is really special since not a lot of states have that kind of a law for student journalists. And just today is just a fun day. We get to learn about trends in journalism, take different classes here at the Union, and just see like what our future holds in journalism.
All right, so Emily, tell us about what you do on the journalism side. I know you said you are a yearbook editor at Shawnee Mission South, so you kind of describe the things you've done so far in high school.
Well, freshman year I started out as a writer, so I was just writing stories. Sophomore year I was a copy editor, so I was also still writing stories, but I as well I analyze other people's stories, help them edit it. This year I moved up to designer, so I'm actually doing layouts of the spreads that are going to be in the yearbook. And that's really cool. That's the next step. I hope to be editor-in-chief maybe next year. So we'll see where it goes.
That's good. It sounds like you have a good start. Lots of years of experience from day one on the staff. So many opportunities here at KU. I'm not saying you're set on it or have to come or anything. But there's UDK and there's radio and there's television and there's magazines. What do you think you would maybe want to dive into if you were to come in 2 years? I
mean, anything. The sky's the limit. Like, I've always thought about careers in journalism maybe as something I'd like to do. That's not for sure yet, but yeah, definitely newspapers, journalism, anything I'd be open to.
So you say you're pretty set on journalism for your college experience?
That's part of it, yeah. I've also thought about being a teacher, maybe a journalism teacher. Like, we'll see where it goes.
Lots of opportunities here at KU. Now, not just Kansas. There's some other places you're looking at?
Yeah. I've just started like college searching, like doing college visits and stuff like that. So I don't want to say, but K-State, all the Kansas schools in general.
Well, we don't advocate for Kansas State here on the show, but Kansas has a great journalism school. Lots going on. If you're gonna do one new thing coming senior year, what would you think that would be?
Like in journalism?
Yes.
I don't know, just keep reaching out. Maybe I could do yearbook and newspaper, see where it goes. We also have a school-run KSMS, which is like our radio broadcast at South. So maybe I could branch out, do that, anything.
Fantastic. Emily, thank you so much for joining us on the show. We'll be back with weather after the break.
Where you go to college makes a statement about you. This place will become a part of you, your identity for life. The University of Kansas, a great place to be you.
Welcome back into Good Morning KU. Now we're going to go to the weather. It looks great outside, but now we're joined with Lane, who is on top of the roof of the Kansas Union. Lane, what's the weather look like up there?
Hey Jackson, it looks amazing today. As you can see, there's just a little bit of clouds in the sky this morning, about 55 degrees and just a slight breeze. So it's a great day to be outside, during classes or, when classes are over. It'll be about 73 degrees later this afternoon.
Fantastic. It looks incredible out there. Now, what does it look like for the rest of the week? Because, Mondays we need it to look nice because it's a Monday for everyone. But as we get towards the end of the week, what are we looking at?
Definitely. Later this week, it's actually going to be a really nice week, in the 70s. There's going to be a slight chance of rain in the middle of the week, but after that, it should be just as nice as it is today.
Fantastic. Now, with how nice it is, what's your favorite thing to do outside on a sunny and 75 day?
And, you know, I really like taking walks around campus. When I have extra time, it's just so nice, you know, to be out in the sun just before the cold weather hits for fall.
Fantastic. Lane, thank you so much for our weather update. We walked around campus. What a beautiful campus we have here at KU. That's it for Good Morning KU today. Have a good afternoon as well, students. Thanks for joining us.